Hello, and today I'm going to be reviewing the George Clooney Vera Farmiga film, Up in the Air, also starring the brilliant Anna Kendrick as a young 21-year-old financial upstart. Okay, so to set the premise a bit of the film, you have Clooney playing the tough, cynical guy working for a company who hires him out to go to other firms and to fire their staff. So he plays Ryan Bingham. Basically, Ryan Bingham is a cynical loner who he has his own way of looking at life through his own lens. He's not in touch with his family much. You get the impression from a scene that when he returns home that he's had an on-off relationship with his next door neighbour who drops some post around. So the guy, he's not really the kind of easy to love, normal kind of George Clooney character that we usually see. In terms of, it's similar in that way to Michael Clayton. And you have the Clooney that you see in Ocean's 11, Michael Clayton, and in this film, Up in the Air. So you have Clooney doing this whole, I'm George Clooney, I'm so nice thing, which I love it, I think it's fantastic, I love the way Clooney acts. The wonderful thing with Up in the Air is it's funny, it has a lot of heart, and its message is the reason I've chosen to review today. When the film originally came out, we're in the midst of the credit crunch, we're in the midst of all these financial difficulties, so a long crew of commentators, many of whom I greatly respect, such as Philip French from The Observer, commented that this was a great film and it summed up our times in terms of people losing their jobs and everything like that. I'll just stop right there and kind of reduce that argument to nothing, simply because, yes, Up in the Air is about firing people, it's about people losing their jobs, but the book was written well before we were in these financial times, and yes, it does bring in real people to talk about losing their jobs. So in context you can say that yes, it's linked to the financial situations that we're in now, but it's not a film of our times. It is not a film of our times. The crux of the film is that love is more important than money, and that being alone isn't necessarily the most positive thing in terms of your interactions with the people that you care about, and the fact that it's nice to have relationships and people in your life that you love, which the Clooney character basically finds out during the film, and then he falls in love, and then that falls on its head when the person he loves betrays him. So other commentators such as Mark Kermode, Mr. Kermode with the big hands, love the guy, but he said that this film was quite cheesy, and it was the whole, he was a man on a journey, searching for a place. No, it's not one of those films, because yes, he's on a journey, but I think all good characters in films are on some kind of journey, because they have to start off here and end up here, or else it's just going to be a boring mess, probably starring Gerard Butler or Jennifer Aniston. Okay, so yes, the character's on a journey, but by the end of the film, he's still in the same place he was at the start of the film, but in terms of the emotional awareness that he has, that is what has moved on for him. So at the end, he talks about families, lovers, and then he says that he's going to be flying in the skies above you because he's still alone. But you can see that he doesn't necessarily think that that is the way that he will want to continue. Or you could view it in a sad way and think this character that you've been engrossed with for the entire movie hasn't really ended up in a place that you would want him to end up in. So the ending isn't cheesy, and it's not a man on a journey story. It's a superbly made film, one of the most moving films I've ever seen, which is why I don't understand why it was overlooked by the Oscars, but I can see why at the BAFTAs it got the Best Adapted Screenplay, or Best Adapted Script. So that award, absolutely superb. In terms of the supporting cast, you have Anna Kendrick, who's been in the Twilight films, but to be fair, if she keeps making films like this, with this level of performance, that girl is going to be a star within the next kind of 5 years. She's going to be commanding really big bucks. Okay, so I love the film, great soundtrack, superb jazz, some bands I've never heard of, great score, beautifully shot. And the thing I liked about the way it was shot was the fact that they're always in these areas such as airports or on the road, areas that should be boring, but I don't know, you seem to feel as if you're there with them, and I like the way that the director chose to shoot that. In terms of the director, it's a guy who did Thank You for Smoking, which I liked, but this film kind of takes the premise and the cynical views in that film and then elevates them to a new emotional level that I haven't seen for quite a while. So this film, I think I got it the other week. I went to see it when it came out and I've already watched it 3 times. So, love this film. Up in the Air as a classic. It's not a credit crunch film, it's just a universal good film about what we should appreciate about the people around us and how being an outcast from love and emotion isn't necessarily a positive thing, but then you get that compartmentalized into one character in terms of George Clooney that is your mantle that you carry the film on, and it's superb. Superb ending, superb opening, brilliant film. Also, it was pleasing to see that Vera Farmiga, who was in The Departed a few years ago, has got a nice, big, meaty role to fill out. She's fantastic in this film, and she's also naked in this film. Always a good thing. But yes, fantastic movie, and loved it. But it's not about the credit crunch, and nor is it a man on a journey, searching for his heart and soul, and what will... No. Okay, Commode, shut it. So yes, Up in the Air, fantastic film. Picture quality, everything, 10 out of 10. That's what I'm talking about. Huge, lovely, gorgeous. Buy it when it comes out in this country, or if you want to pay more, get it from the States now. Get it on your Blu Ray player, sit back with the wife or girlfriend. You'll love this film. Okay, but Mark Commode, no, it's not a man on a journey story. It's not. Thanks.